Like the same with like Heath Ledger. Like everyone thinks he was like the best thing ever just because he was in that shitty movie.
Would you agree though? That, like the Doors are the same thing. The Doors would not be as good if Morrison didn't die.
No, I don't agree with that.
I hate the Doors. I never really got into them, so you're the wrong person to ask.
I don't agree with that. I think the Doors had 5 incredible albums.
Okay. I mean, I like the Doors. I think they have a lot of good music. It's just I don't think they're quite as great as some people think they are.
I do, but I do think that Nirvana, if they stayed around, would have come out with about 3 or 4 more mediocre to bad albums, and then just been like a footnote in the 90s.
Well, I don't think they would have been a footnote. They still would have defined, like, you think of the 90s, Nirvana, even forgetting they died, like, Nirvana still, like, defines the 90s grunge music.
I don't even like the term grunge music. It was just
It
rock.
was that era, whatever you want to call it.
It wasn't even a type of music, though. It was rock music, but they wore plaid. It wasn't like it wasn't any different than any other rock.
I'm going to say rock, but I'm also going to dress like a farmer. Get it?
Yeah, like how is like Soundgarden any different from like another rock band, other than the fact that they wore plaid for like 5 years?
Well, their music was more popular than most music in that time.
But that doesn't make it its own genre. Grunge isn't a thing. I refuse to acknowledge grunge as a type of music.
Right? Do you acknowledge, whether you like it or not, that grunge was a type of music?
I think it was a way to label bands. I don't know.
Okay, I mean, that's fair.
fair.
It was kind of a label they put on the bands from that time.
Because there's like Alice in Chains sound anything like Pearl Jam.
But isn't Alice in Chains defined as grunge also?
Yeah, that's my point. Like it's
Because
not.
they're all from Seattle.
It's not a thing. You just there's 2 bands that sound nothing like, but they're both grunge. Like that doesn't even make sense.
You really didn't like. Were you voicing that like during that time period? It was like 1992. You're like, I really like grunge. It doesn't exist, man.
Yeah, and alternative too.
Do you want to just start the show?
I started recording like 2 minutes ago.
Okay, fine. So grunge there's some kind of style. I wonder if it's defined somewhere. I'm going to look this up.
It's not. It's rock music with plaid, and the hair is pretty dirty.
Grunge is a rock music genre and subculture that emerged during the 1980s in the Pacific Northwest. According to Wikipedia, you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I'll just go to Wikipedia and edit that.
You can.
And we'll just block this part out of the show.
Well, what would you call that kind of music?
Rock music.
It's all alternative.
I don't acknowledge alternative either.
You know what? What do you acknowledge? Everything's just rock, or do you acknowledge metal, or is that rock also?
Yeah, you don't acknowledge my lifestyle, Jay?
What is alternative music? It's just rock music from the 90s.
It does sound different than.
Isn't alternative music silence?
Yes, it does sound different. Like metal, do you acknowledge metal?
Yeah.
Did you acknowledge new metal, like that style, the Korn, Limp Bizkit on a previous show?
Yeah, we had this conversation.
I didn't call it new metal with NU, but yeah, I just called that rap rock.
So how do you acknowledge that's just rock? They're all rock. Why do you acknowledge them? Why do you call them anything different?
Because they incorporated hip hop.
They incorporated rhyming.
Yeah, they incorporated.
If you rhyme, you get your own style.
No, they incorporated hip hop into the metal music, so it was a hybrid. So it changed it. What did Pearl Jam do that was so different from like Boston or?
Well, Pearl Jam
Foreigner?
started their whole like growling singing. Like,
yeah.
What? Did you ever watch the Jay? Look up. There's a show called Metal. What's it called? Metal Evolution.
So according to Wikipedia, again, I know you could have written this. Anyone could write anything they want on Wikipedia.
I'm just going to undo whatever you're reading in 2 seconds.
It just says grunge music fuses elements of punk rock and heavy metal. 2 different styles featuring the distorted electric guitar. So there's actual musical difference between this kind of music and other kinds of music. It's a subgenre of rock.
Watch this documentary called Metal Evolution. There's like a 5-part series. It's probably on like a VH1 classic somewhere. They have a whole episode about grunge.
Yeah, everything could be rock, but there could be subgenres of different kinds. You could have punk. You could have new metal. What types of styles? What styles of music do you acknowledge, Jay?
Real ones.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you for giving me a good, solid answer.
Blues, funk, R&B, pop.
Do you acknowledge rap, or is that just R&B said faster?
No, I acknowledge that.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's according to the majority of people that like music that there is. If there's a different style of music, can't you acknowledge it?
Yeah, but I just don't think it is.
Do you acknowledge punk rock as a type of music?
Yeah. That's
Acknowledge
rock, that's rock
heavy
when you
metal
don't know
type
how to
of
play
music.
your instruments.
What about heavy metal? Is that a type of music?
Yeah.
So what if you fuse the two of them?
Is this whole conversation a metaphor for like the LGBT plus thing? Like we're not acknowledging certain genres.
I mean, how much punk is in Pearl Jam? Is it 0?
I don't know.
Or none?
um,
There's no punk in Pearl Jam.
It's just to find a certain era of music. Yeah, it would be weird. Like a band coming alternative is a genre of music now.
I don't think so.
It's a little different than rock music. That's why when I put in Pandora alternative, different music comes out than if I put rock.
I'm trying to log into Wikipedia so I could change it.
While we're on the show, it'll say grunge fuses "you're stupid, Mark" with "you're an idiot, Mark."
I was just gonna change it to say that grunge is rock with plaid.
Lyrics are typically angst-filled and introspective, often addressing themes such as social alienation, self-doubt, abuse, neglect, betrayal, social and emotional isolation, physical, psychological trauma. All these things kind of define a type of music. And you have to say like Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Nirvana, Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots. They all have a similar sound, and they sound nothing like the Rolling Stones or the Beatles. Ooh, do I have something there or no?
No.
But you acknowledge those bands all sound similar and sound much different than some other bands that you would define as rock.
I guess.
Oh! So it's like they're stylistically different. Like they may be a part of a different subgenre. I win. Thank you, Bri.
My pleasure.
I don't know. I mean,
I just dominated you. You admit defeat, and let's move on.
Can you just refresh the grunge page real quick?
So you didn't necessarily agree with me. You just added different.
No, I just think you read it wrong.
I read it wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. So I am hitting F5, refreshing, and grunge fuses elements of punk rock and heavy metal, featuring distortion. Can you tell me where your edits are?
The very first sentence. Grunge, sometimes referred to
as Seattle sound, is rock music played while wearing plaid.
He says it right there.
Exactly. You have to wear the sound. The music hits the plaid and has a certain sound that you would not have otherwise. If you wear a suit, the music sounds different. That's why you never saw Kurt Cobain wearing a suit. He wore plaid because it helped with the sound quality. So this all came about when somehow we were talking about. Why did we come up with this conversation, Jay?
Jay was talking about how Pearl Jam was overrated.
Oh, yeah, because I said I went to a Pearl Jam concert a long time ago, and he said it's overrated. They do have a number of songs, but the whole point was most bands don't have more than like an album's worth of music. I think it's a select number of bands that can fill 2 albums, like 2 greatest hits albums.
Really?
Yeah, I think like it's like a not that having 2 good out like. If you can fill 20 good songs, which basically is two greatest hits albums, there aren't that many bands that can do that. It's a small number. My point. It's not 3, but it's a small number. You don't agree?
I think there's a lot. I mean, what do you consider a small number? Like 30?
Sure, 30 is a small number.
Okay.
of the thousands and thousands of bands.
Okay, yeah.
Can you name how many can you name right now?
How many bands that can
That can have 2 full albums of good music.
Let's see.
I'll give you and Beatles. Like, don't say any of the clay. Okay, Beatles, Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd. Go.
Aerosmith.
Okay.
Allman Brothers.
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. Allman Brothers.
Well, Guns N' Roses has 2 good albums.
Yeah. No. Are you? Wait, you're saying they only have 2 good albums?
Well, they only have 3 good albums.
Okay.
I mean, they only have 4 total. I'm not counting Spaghetti
Chinese
Incident.
Revolution, whatever.
Well, the Chinese Democracy, which isn't really Guns N' Roses, and Spaghetti Incident, which is a cover album.
Okay. Maybe. Okay.
I mean, I could say like
This is pretty easy, actually. There are a lot of bands. I'm just saying
Billy
the small
Joel,
number.
Big Sugar, Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, Brian Jonestown Massacre, Dandy Warhol.
Right. Is Jay just making up band names now?
They're real names. Well, he lost me when he got the Dandy Warhols.
Dandy Warhols. They
You knew he was trying to slip that in somewhere.
yeah.
You guys crap so much on a band you've never heard.
We're talking about real bands here, Jay. Like bands that people have heard of that would buy a double.
You guys just
greatest hits CD.
You want to hate them because I like them so much.
the Dandy Warhols. They're going to play my backyard later.
I noticed nobody.
While they're also going to be cutting the grass.
I noticed neither of you guys denied my claim.
Denied your claim?
Yeah, that you just want to hate them because I like them so much.
What style of music are they? Are they?
They're
grunge?
alternative.
Actually, I've apparently I'm looking. Wikipedia says Dandy Warhols. They are new grunge.
And you?
And new grunge.
They're grunge-ernative.
Their sound is made while wearing plaid, but not wearing pants. That combination word does it.
Well, they have a female in the band who doesn't wear tops sometimes.
Awesome! I bet she's hot.
Doesn't make their music better. Might make the concert better.
Is she attractive, Jay?
She's not bad. Yeah.
Is she Asian?
I was just gonna say that.
And how could you love her if she's not Asian?
I'm a man of the world.
Do you sometimes wish you were Asian?
No.
Okay. Do you tell your girlfriend, I'm glad I'm not Asian?
Every day. I wake up to that.
Did she say
no, I'm just saying I'm glad
aren't too.
I'm glad you are. I'm glad I'm not.
So, Brian, what's new with you?
Oh, not much.
I saw.
Plugging along. I went to Vegas a couple weeks ago.
How much did you lose? I mean, how much did you win?
Actually, I only spent about $200.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't really gamble that much.
Isn't that isn't going to Vegas like your homeland?
It's funny. Like when I'm here, I'm always like, oh man, I wish I was in Vegas. I wish I was in Vegas. And I get to Vegas and I'm like, I wish I was home.
Okay. Why weren't you a fan?
Well,
why are you not a fan? I guess.
Well, first of all, when I went a couple weeks ago, it was so goddamn hot. It was like 110.
Yeah.
And then it was like 89 at like 9 at night, which kind of sucks. But it's just like.
Are we gonna spend the rest of the episode ripping on Bri for going to Vegas in the summer, or does that just apply to me in Thailand?
The reason I went is because my girlfriend's mother lives out there, and it was her birthday.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't it was actually like a totally different purpose.
Well, we went for 5 days. We spent the first 2 days at her house, at her mom's house, and then we stayed on the strip for 2 days, and then we came home. But Vegas is just like picture the most annoying group of people, like if you go out, like picture like the most, close your eyes and just like picture like if you're at a bar, like the most annoying group of people, like jocks or whatever. There's like 10,000 of those, like everywhere in Vegas. Like everywhere you look, there's a group of those people.
Well, there's always people, like, it's a weird combination of people, because you have people that are either there celebrating some big occasion, like a bachelor party or a bachelorette party, and those people are always kind of annoying to be around unless you're on the bachelor party.
Yeah.
Or people just trying to make a big weekend out of it are also, again, annoying as hell to be around.
It's just a place where everybody goes. Everybody who's there is trying too hard.
They're trying to have this amazing time,
Yeah.
or they're trying to get rid of their Social Security checks. So like you
Yeah.
looking over like this 850-year-old person is like, this is my last nickel. You're like, oh God. So it's a pretty depressing place in many ways.
I mean, I like it, but then you get out there and like 3 or 4 days is enough, and then it's just like, and I wasn't gambling, so I didn't really have anything to do. Like my girlfriend was sitting out at the pool, and I went out for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, I'm bored. I can't just sit here. So it was kind of just, it wasn't really a well planned out trip for what I was gonna do. So I was kind of just like happy to come home. But
what did you do when you stayed on the strip? If you didn't gamble, what'd you do?
Well, like I said, we got to the strip Monday morning and we left Wednesday morning, so we only had 2 full days. So like we got to the strip, our room wasn't ready, so we just walked like the whole strip, just check everything out, came back. Then we got our room. She went down to the pool, and then I took a little nap. And then she had booked us a couple things, like we went ziplining on Monday afternoon.
Okay.
At this place, it was kind of cool. And then we walked around after. Got something to eat, a couple drinks or whatever. Then Tuesday, she sat by the pool all day, and then I gambled for a little bit, and then we went to dinner, and then we went to a show. We went to see the Beatles show out there.
Oh, how was that?
It was good, actually. I liked it a lot better than I thought I would.
The Beatles Cirque show?
What?
Love the Beatles Cirque
Love.
show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The soundtrack for that's really good.
The music's pretty good. What's not to like about it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super like into the Beatles and super like I know like the hits by the Beatles, but I don't know like a lot of like the like obscure stuff.
They do some cool remixes of the songs on that.
Yeah, so I was just like, all right, whatever, I'll go see, because I've seen a couple of the other Cirque du Soleil shows, so I was like, oh, this would be cool, and I actually liked it a lot. Like, I was like, it wasn't like I wasn't gonna like it, but I was like, wow, that was really like I'm glad we went.
So this sounds like actually it was a pretty good time in Vegas. Actually, you made it sound like, oh man, the people were so annoying. It sucked, and I had a great goddamn time.
No, it was good because like we got because we went over Labor Days, but so we stayed at her mom's house Saturday and Sunday. So when we got to the strip, everybody was leaving because it was the end of the weekend, Yeah. So it wasn't like when we got there, it was super crowded, and by like Monday night, it was not very crowded around there. So it was a good time. Yeah.
It is just insanely hot there.
It is, and everyone's like, oh, it's a dry heat, and the dry heat's fine. I could deal with it, but it's when it's like 8 o'clock at night and it's still like 85, 90 degrees. It's like it's not normal.
No, a dry heat is like grunge. It doesn't exist.
All right, so I work at the
why does work terrible for you, Jay? Come on, just tell us.
No. I work at the World Trade Center. So we just passed. Last week was 9/11.
Okay.
What's 9/11?
It's just a date.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's the day John Ritter died.
So you're hoping that if you post enough on those Infowars that they'll come for you.
Somebody's gonna murder me from that site.
Did you wear a parachute to work last week, or?
Jay sends me like a thing. He's like, check out all my comments on Infowars. I'm like, how long were you on the site? There were like 1,000 comments from you.
Everyone's yelling at me too.
He just goes on there. Is like, how about that Obama? You should die. Oh, okay, and you just keep arguing with people for like calling them idiots, basically. You're like, that's your argument? That's your argument?
It's so fun to rile those people up.
I don't think it's hard either to rile them up.
No.
You know what riles those people up too? Like the Trump people. If you ever get into like whatever's with them, if you're like online, just make like the kissy face.
Oh yeah, they're not a homo.
Yeah. Oh, they get so insecure about that.
Don't you feel like all Trump's policies are just not well thought out drunk guy ranting at a bar?
Yeah, that's all it was. He's like, sitting at a bar with his rich friends, seeing a black president, and be like, fucking black president, I could be president.
Yeah, it's like every policy sounds good to a certain point till you think about it. He's like, for immigration, I mean, everyone can't come in here. Yeah, I guess so. So we'll put the kids in cages. I'm sorry, what?
his whole his whole running for president is like, I just want to like erase Obama from the history books.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's doing a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of that. It makes you. I think Obama wasn't that good at being president because the next guy could erase everything he did pretty fast.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my new tradition is to just stand outside there during lunch because you have all the people who say that there was some sketchy stuff going on during 9/11.
Do you stand outside the towers, throw a paper airplane at yourself, and fall down?
At free fall speed.
Yeah.
I will say one thing about Trump. Did you see the controversy over Melania's dress last week on 9/11?
I did.
No, what's the controversy?
You have to look it up. You have to look the picture up of the dress that she wore. There's like a design on the back, and it looks like it looks like a tower with a plane in it.
That's
Go
pretty
on,
funny.
Jay. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So I just want to say that I saw a.
Do you when people are like mourning down there? You're like, yeah, I can't believe the American government killed them.
No, that's what somebody else was saying.
Oh, well, isn't that what you believe?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I saw what the people of InfoWars.
That does look weird. I'm looking at the picture now.
Yeah.
It does. There's like
Actually, it looks like a big dick, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a dick that's going into her butt, actually, which is actually the best. Go on.
So I saw what the people of InfoWars always claim a liberal is, and I've never seen one in person, and it was terrible.
What do they claim a liberal is?
It was one of those fat, short-haired feminists that take offense to everything. And I know it's a caricature. I didn't know it was actual people who act like that, because there was this guy he had a crowd gathered around him, and he had maybe like 4 or 5 other people with him, and he was talking about how it makes no sense that it fell free fall speed and blah blah blah, and steel doesn't melt.
Is that what happens at 9/11? People go into the towers, get on like a soapbox, and just start ranting about how this doesn't make sense?
Yes, they brought posters and handouts and flyers and.
What is his thinking that what's going to happen there? The American government's like, it was 18 years later, and someone convinced us all it was a conspiracy. The conspiracy was true.
Hey, Tom DeLonge of Blink-182 got the government to admit UFOs are real.
Yeah, so it can happen.
So crazier things can happen.
What is that story?
The dude from Blink-182, he like quit the band to like chase UFOs, and he has a show on the History Channel, I think it is.
And the government admitted UFOs are real?
Yeah, the other day, like today or yesterday, the government came out and like said like, yeah, those videos are real. Those are UFOs.
I think that would have been a bigger story.
I feel like if we just pick any story from the news, Mark's not going to know about it.
We should make
Chris.
We should have the game where we have 3 stories and 1 fake one, and see if you can guess the fake one.
Yeah,
that would be a good game to actually play for the show.
Yeah, we should start doing that.
Navy confirms UFO videos posted by Blink-182 rocker are real and should not have. I got to click on the article to find out more.
You got to get that last word.
Yeah, should not have been released.
Whoops.
Yeah, I don't think this admits that they're aliens because UFO just stands for unidentified flying.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't say aliens. I just said UFOs. But
right.
I mean, at least they're saying that. I mean, if they're going to say that, then they could finally admit that they blew up Building 7. I mean,
of course,
we all know they did anyway.
By the way, I started watching the. Speaking of, I don't know why 9/11 made me think of it. The Roger Ailes show on Showtime. You recommended it, right? The Loudest Voice.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, Bry. Didn't Bry recommend it?
No, I did. Yeah.
Well, you just so you were just silent just there, like. I'm not going to acknowledge that I recommended it to you, Mark.
I'm just going to let Mark hang on this one.
Jay's like, "What are you talking about? I didn't recommend it to you." I'm like, "I'm not talking to you. There's 3 people on the show." It's pretty interesting. It's just like I guess I don't know how much of it's completely accurate, but it sounds pretty accurate. It just basically shows the Fox News and the Bush administration coordinating on stuff.
It's just crazy, some of the stuff they're doing.
And he makes this like strong case for why like Fox News' existence. Basically, you have half the country who believes in sanity, and they they want someplace to watch and tell them that the insanity is true.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to say that this lady is real, and
Okay.
so this guy was talking. He's got a crowd around him. He's yelling. And
why don't we reenact it, Jay? That might be easier.
No,
do you want to be the lady or the guy?
No, you don't.
We can reenact this stuff.
We need to hear the story before we can reenact.
We can reenact it. Okay. I'll be the guy. I mean, how is it possible planes can even fly? I mean, it doesn't make sense. It had to be the government knocking down the buildings.
Where are all the women in your group?
Women there's no such thing as women. It's what are you talking about?
We're giving too much time to a white male to talk.
Anyway, so the American people, they were tricked by the Bush administration, and Iraq doesn't even exist.
The two things I said were actually said by her.
I assume they were.
About the white man?
She was wearing an Elizabeth Warren shirt, and so he just looked at her. He goes, "You're wearing a Warren shirt. I'm not even going to talk to you."
So wait, one lunatic was talking to another lunatic?
Yeah, it was a great moment. I don't think he's a lunatic.
He probably is, though.
I don't think he is, though. He was making some really good points.
I think he might be just as crazy as that woman he's talking to.
I think he was making some really good points, and I took his.
What was good points? There's no way it could fall that fast. Or is it too fast or too slow? What was the problem with the building falling?
It was
Mark, you're outnumbered on the 9/11 thing here.
Yeah. The third building didn't.
I think our shows go too far to crazy. Then
the third building didn't get hit by anything, but fell straight down at free fall speed. It makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
And on the news, when you're live, if you're watching it, it says we're going to pull this building, and the cameras go over to the building right before it falls. And pull is a term for controlled demolition.
So. Why did they take it down, though? What was the point? They already had two buildings down. The U.S. government was like, we're never going to be able to invade Iraq if we don't bring down a third building.
Probably the $100 million insurance policy that was put on it a week before it happened.
Okay. So there's $100 million. So they were like, it's a major homicide. It's totally cool because there's some money to be made.
Oh, because the rich people really care about the...
I don't think we need to debate 9/11. So as part of our 9/11 show, we're going to debate if 9/11 was an inside job by the United States government.
We should just do this every year. Oh, wait, we do.
We do. Let's move on from it.
Okay. Do you want to go to...
We had a bit. So 7 deadly sins.
You guys didn't do the bit. Why don't we just do it next week?
I'm never going to do it, so let's just do it right here.
Can I start a new thing?
Yeah.
A weekly thing for our show called Bry's Complaints.
Yeah, please.
I know I complain about everything anyway, but this way it'll be official.
We used to have Mark's Grinds My Gears, so let's change it to Bry's Complaints.
Yeah, Bry's Complaints. I don't know if this applies, if Jay feels the effects of this or not, and probably even Mark, but can't bars just be bars? Like every freaking bar. Like I don't
Is a lounge? Is that where you're going with this?
No, like every bar. I don't go out that much, but like every bar that I go by is like Tuesday trivia night, Wednesday karaoke, Thursday every night live music. Like
no one's coming into the bar.
What?
No one's they need people to come into the bar, so they.
I know that. I get that, but some people just want to go drink alone in a dark bar. Can't I just do that one night a week
here while I'm committing suicide?
Like, I don't need to, like, if I want to go to a bar, I want to be quiet. I don't need, like, fucking mariachi bands.
No, I totally get what Brian's coming from.
I totally get what you're saying, but they need noise so they can, like, turn a profit and not go.
I know. No, I know.
Yeah, you get that. I understand. You get
that. It's just annoying as hell. Like, all these bars, like, even the bars I used to go to, I'll drive by. They used to, just nothing going on. And it's like, Monday, trivia, Tuesday, paint by
numbers,
wine and paint or whatever, and it's like.
But they don't do that on like Saturday night usually. It's usually those are the things on the nights.
Yeah, but Saturday nights when it's so crowded, you don't want to go.
Right. Yeah. I want to go on a Tuesday and have a few drinks, and it's like I can't because it's karaoke night or like.
Right, but people usually aren't going. I mean, again, people usually aren't going those nights, so it's kind of like we're like we gotta be in business. Like trivia is like a fun. Like I would go to a trivia night. I've gone to trivia nights.
Yeah, I used to go to trivia all the time, which is fine. But when I know I'm going to trivia, I'll go to trivia. If I'm going somewhere and I just want to be not bothered.
Hello, are you do you run this bar? Okay, I used to like trivia at your bar. Okay. Well, I don't want trivia night. Can you kids cancel that? Because I want to get a drink by myself.
But every bar is doing it, and it's annoying. Whereas like the antisocial, I just want to sit in a corner and drink like Jay and Bry.
Yeah, like where's like the people who don't drink daily alcoholic bar? Like where do they go?
I have to assume there's more than one bar by you, and I imagine not every bar has it.
Almost every dive bar has closed.
Yeah, it's hard to keep them open. You need a lot. Basically, to keep them open, you need to have sit by yourself and drink yourself into a stupor Tuesday nights.
I'm forever bitter because
it's a very popular night where people won't talk and just drink.
I had that around the corner from my apartment, and the owner developed a coke habit and stopped paying rent. I'm forever bitter about it because it was the perfect bar.
Which bar is it? Jay, was that one that I've gone to with you?
Rapture. That's the
Rapture.
one.
That's out of business?
Yeah, the owner decided he was going to have a coke habit and he had a partner, and I walked past one day and the partner was like selling everything, and I walked in, I'm like, what the hell happened? And she's like, oh yeah, the other guy decided he was just going to keep all the rent money and not give it to the landlord, so we got evicted. And it turned out he just got like a wild coke habit and kept the rent for like 4 straight months, and they got evicted. It was the perfect bar. It was amazing.
I mean, if I was when I was younger, I'd be like, oh, it'd be kind of cool to open a bar. But at this point, I feel like if I owned a bar, I would also develop a coke habit. If you're in a bar every night, you would just like, there's a chance you would like go.
But he wasn't in there. He had a full staff running it. He would just show up with like random skanks, get free drinks, and leave again. It's not like he was there. It was self-sufficient at that point. So like he didn't have to be there.
Every bar goes out because they, either because the owner goes crazy or they try to change it and it never works.
Yeah. I mean, bars don't stay in business. Like, there's very rare that bars just stay in business for any extended period of time.
There's a sports bar by my house that it used to be just one. Now there's a chain. There's like 6 or 7 of them, and they were known for their wings. Okay. And they have really good wings. And like it was like, hey, we're gonna go to Sliders. We're gonna have wings, and we're gonna have beer. And they have like 1 million TVs, and you just go watch the game. And then they started branching out, and they opened like a couple other ones like in surrounding towns. The wings started getting shittier. And then instead of just being the sports bar with wings, where you go get wings, and that's it. You know, you play pool or you watch the game, you have a bar. They like expanded the menu to like burgers and like salads, and they tried to do brunch. And it's just like, just stick to what you know. Who cares if like a bunch of girls aren't going to come here because you don't have salad and, you know, flatbread sandwiches or something. It's like, you go for wings. Do what you do best. Don't try to like include everybody. Just keep what you're doing, and you're doing just fine.
Croxley's. It's been around for about 70 years.
If you have a business out there and you want our the consulting advice by the brink of sanity, we will come to your business. We'll tell you, keep doing what you're doing and don't serve flatbread.
No, and this is my point. Now this is one of the bars I go by every day on my way to work. Tuesday night, trivia night.
Croxley Ales.
They had to change. They could have just stuck with
like,
wings and beer and pool.
Croxley Ales has been in the East Village for like 70 years, and all they have is wings.
I mean, it's hard though. It's hard to find those examples though, where a bar actually just made it work basically with one item. I get they were like, they probably like, business is only so. We need to grow things. Let's try to figure out how to adapt, and then they basically just screwed up.
And now they opened a Buffalo Wild Wings in town, and like nobody goes to that place anymore.
Yeah.
And their wings were really good, and they just have gotten down. They've just gone downhill, and it's like you go there, and it's like the menu's like 3 pages. It used to be like 1 page. It was like wings, burgers, fries, and like a couple other.
Well, that's
things.
what happens if you make too many things. You can't make it all good.
Yeah, now they have like chicken and waffles, and they have like, you know, like I said, they tried to do brunch for a while. It was like, you're a fucking sports bar. Nobody's going here for brunch.
Once they start serving kale, it's over.
Then they changed it from a bar to a sports bar and grill, and they had like a section which was a restaurant, so that the kids could come,
Great.
and it's just downhill.
I have one more story for the show.
Sure.
I need to get a drink first, though.
Okay.
So I'm going to hit pause.
Well, Brian and I can just talk about the Mets while you're gone.
Okay. So we're back.
Back.
Nobody noticed, though. Oh, yeah. I wanted to talk about how I am waging war against some of my coworkers.
Oh, I knew there had to be a part where you work in your job.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I have a question for you, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say, what do you hate about work the most? Like, if you could change one thing about work.
Management.
Okay, just new management?
Yeah. I think the people on my level are great. I think we have a kick-ass team, and I think it's being ruined by management.
Okay, what if they said, we have new management, it's going to be kick-ass management, you're going to really like them. The only thing is, just for a diversity sake, you need to wear a hijab and dress like a Muslim.
That would be a weird initiative.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like to get good management, we need to make the department more diverse. So you need to pretend you're Muslim for the.
Isn't that not diverse, just racist?
Yeah, would you do that?
Am I making the same salary?
Do you need a raise to dress Muslim?
Yeah.
How much of a raise do you want? What percent?
The management's gone, right?
Management's gone. New management. Every day you have to dress like a different ethnicity.
Do I have to take the subway?
They'll pay for the clothes.
Can I change when I get to work, or do I have to ride the subway like that?
You could do it. They'll get you dressed. You get there. They're like, today you're a 75-year-old Chinese woman. Tomorrow you're like a 13-year-old Cuban boy.
Okay. I mean, if they want to give me an extra $10,000, I'll do that.
Okay.
So anyway, I don't know how it is in your guys' office, but sometimes if people go on vacation, it's kind of a tradition where somebody buys snacks from whatever country you went to, and you put it out for the other coworkers to eat. Do you guys do that?
Yeah, and the joke is everyone in the office always buys saltwater taffy, no matter where they go.
Oh, I have a small office, so we don't really do that. But
okay, so what would you do if somebody put out a tray of candy from, say, Belgium, and there's a few different kind of things. Say there was 3 different boxes of chocolate. What would you do?
What do you mean? What would I do?
Would you take one piece? Would you take one from each box?
Okay, I think it'd be fine to try one from each box if they're different chocolates.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So someone in your office either screamed at someone for trying each of them, or someone took a dump in the chocolate. What weird thing happened to your office, Jay?
Somebody takes all they can fit in their hands. Just as much as they could possibly grab.
So they're not into sharing.
And then comes back for more. And then comes back for thirds.
How big was this chocolate thing?
And then shows up at a fourth time with Tupperware and puts all the rest in the Tupperware and walks away.
This is an old lady?
No.
Oh.
Is this something that are you talking the third person? This was you?
No. This is there's one person who does this every single time there's free snacks in the office.
Usually when there's stuff like that, somebody brings in donuts or cookies or something, I'll be the first one in the kitchen, I'll grab one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll tell everyone they're there, and then 10 minutes later I'll go back and be like, oh, there's cookies here. I'll take another one, and then I'll wait till everyone's picked through, and then I'll take a third one later. But
that's the key, waiting till everyone has gotten their fill. This
that's pretty normal.
This person will see this and then take 3 out of the 12 donuts, and then a couple people won't get any.
Did you feel bad when you found out she's homeless? She's she's living on the street. This is my only sustenance.
Is it the lady who was fighting with the 9/11 guy?
No, it's not. Yeah, so
is this the janitor who won't take your plastic?
No. I have a lot of different issues going on at this point.
You have a very weird. You know what's crazy? You have obviously a very weird office environment, and you hate your job obviously to an extreme. But I can't believe you just said we have a kick-ass team.
Yeah, I thought.
Isn't that amazing?
Because
Jay's complained so much about his job, and he's only like, "Our team is goddamn amazing."
Well,
I would tell you what.
somebody brings in a lot of chocolate, so I mean that's pretty good.
well, I
people
mean, you
bring in
gotta realize when I talk about our team, I'm talking about 5 out of like the 40 people in the department.
So you work with a kick-ass team, Jay. People bring in free chocolates. Why do you not like your job, Jay?
Well, nobody gets the chocolates because of this one person.
Is one of the kick-ass members on the team the one with the bad crypto advice?
He left. He left.
Oh.
You left.
Yeah.
Did he leave for poverty?
He is the person that ordered the microdoses for me, though. So,
How's that work?
Does he still think that's going to work out, the crypto stuff?
He does. It's not at all, but he thinks it is. Yes.
Why does he still? I haven't looked at the price in a while.
How's the microdosing? We're at like 5 different conversations here.
The microdosing is going fairly good.
Okay.
I feel like I'm snapping later in the week now. Like Monday and Tuesday now, I'm usually like, yeah, whatever, everything's fine.
Monday, Tuesday, happy days.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other hard drugs would you be willing to take to make the job better?
No,
like would you start doing cocaine at the office?
Yeah, cocaine's really good for anxiety.
Are you going to put the microdoses in the Belgian chocolate? Is that where this is going?
No. So this person takes just a ridiculous...
Wait, I have a question. Did this person did they take all the chocolates on a Monday, Tuesday, or a Thursday, Friday? Just wondering how the microdoses affected how you felt about this.
Every day. It doesn't matter. No matter when anybody brings in anything. So this person takes...
You confronted her? Is it a her or him?
Well, I'm trying to tell the story. This person was confronted.
Trying to ruin the story.
So one of my other coworkers, we have this Slack chat for everyone in the department. And he wrote, just a thought, when people bring in snacks, please take one so that everybody else can get some. Which I thought was a completely reasonable request.
But it's also, I guess so, this did not go over well because clearly it was targeting one person. And it was...
Well, if the person wasn't feeling guilty, then the person would have nothing to get offended about, right?
Well, I'm just saying it was deemed aggressive, basically.
Why? There was no names called out?
No, you called out that one person by saying it.
No names were mentioned, and if somebody didn't take a massive amount, they would have nothing to complain about.
Yeah, but you're clearly calling one... Bride, are you clearly calling one person out with this?
Yeah. Yes.
So, not that I think he's correct.
Deservedly so.
Deservedly so, but you're also... You're being confrontational by putting that.
Yeah, but on the other hand, this person is taking like 60% of all the snacks for the whole department.
Oh, it was only 60%? I thought you made it sound like a higher percentage.
Well, I mean,
60 is pretty high.
Yeah, considering when you divide it by
no,
20.
I mean, I'm sure it's just a rough estimate. I'm sure Jay didn't count all the chocolates in the thing and all the chocolates in her bag. But
right, I'm just saying when there's 20 people.
Before you complain, I have to finish the math on this.
When there's 20 people, technically you're supposed to take 5%. So if you're taking like 60, it's way more than you're supposed to be taking.
You're taking 55% more than you should have.
See, I get away with that at work when somebody brings in stuff because we have like 3 gluten people in the office. So I'm like, I just had her cookie and her cookie and her cookie.
Okay, so the person does this, and so predictions. Let's make a prediction from here. They post this message. I'm going to predict management gets involved and says he's being confrontational and he gets like kind of like in trouble for this. Brian, what do you predict happens?
I predict nothing changes.
Okay, well, here's what happens. I click.
I make one more prediction.
Yeah, sure.
I predict Jay gets blamed for the whole thing, taking the chocolate and confronting the person who takes the chocolate.
That's everything that goes on in this office. I get blamed for literally everything. It's ridiculous.
Jay, why wasn't there more chocolate for everyone? I didn't even go to Costa Rica. You're supposed to have gotten chocolates from there for everyone, Jay. Again, I didn't go. It wasn't me. And why did you take all the time? It wasn't me.
So what I do is I click a heart emoji on his post. I instantly...
So Jay immediately gets... But wait, Jay told me off the air. But Jay's off the air stories about work are so much better than his on the air stories.
No.
He's telling me about Babar, who works at like some guy named after an elephant works in his office.
So, all right. So I click the heart emoji. I instantly get an IM from this person saying, "Why'd you heart that?" And I said, "Because I agree with the message." And
Well, by the way, you guys are all sitting. Are you like? Can you see each other basically? If you stood up, could you just see the person IMing?
no,
you?
this person
You're up face to face and you're IMing instead of talking.
No, the scum level people.
I can hear you typing to me.
Scum level people like me are in a cubicle farm. This person's a manager, and the manager get their own offices down the hallway.
You didn't tell me the person taking all the chocolates.
This
is a
changes the
manager.
whole story.
So this person was exerting his authority. He's basically
Yeah.
pissing on you when he's taking all the chocolates.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
So he not only
This
takes
person
all the
wanted
chocolates,
a fight.
he can afford more chocolates than you also because he makes more money.
So I said I agree with the message.
Was this your direct report?
No.
Your boss.
No.
Okay.
And this person was like,
By the way, is the only purpose of group Slack to cause confrontation and fighting?
I troll. I have a whole series of stories about me just trolling through Slack. So this is going to be our new bit because
So wait, I have a question. In what way does Slack make your office better? Like forgetting the trolling, like in any way does like having this group chat make anything better at your office as far as actual productivity?
it is supposed to be a quick way to disseminate information to everybody. But what it is just micromanagement. Like we'll get a company-wide survey about like a new financial transformation and through email. And 2 seconds later, one of the managers will like repost that survey in Slack and be like, "Don't forget to take the survey." And it's just like reposting stuff that we already know because we read our emails.
I don't know if you should comment on micromanaging because you're clearly micromanaging how much chocolate people can take.
I don't think I'm micromanaging.
He's
No,
micromanaging without any authority to micromanage.
So you
you're
guys are on this.
unmanaging.
You guys are on this person's side, huh?
I didn't realize he was this person was is it a person, the male or female?
I always side with management over labor.
I'm predicting it's. I thought it was the female, but now I'm predicting it's a male.
All right. So
Continued.
okay. So I get an IM. Why'd you heart this post? And I said, because I agree with it.
You should have written back. You meant to. I am the person that made the post.
So this person goes, I think I should be able to take as much as I want. And I wrote back, I don't agree with that. I think when people bring in stuff for everybody, that everybody should have a chance to take some, not whoever gets there first just opens up a bag and takes everything.
So it basically sounds like the workers want socialism and management wants extreme capitalism.
Right. So
Jay, I'm surprised you didn't write back, "Excuse me, sir, this is a Wendy's."
so it gets quiet. An hour later, I get an email that says, "Don't tamper with gluttony."
From the same guy?
Yeah.
Don't tamper with gluttony?
Yeah. So since the original...
Did he get like a terrible fortune cookie?
So since the original message from my friend said, when people bring in stuff, please take one, I decided to initiate Operation Please Take One. So now whenever I have a stack of pre-printed sheets of paper that say please take one on it. When anybody in the office brings in anything, I run over and I put one of the signs in front of it that says please take one. And
you should do the reverse. You should have a sign that says please take as many as possible.
You know what you should do, Jay?
Mm-hmm.
You should take the initiative and just, instead of please take one, just go grab whatever it is and just pass one out to everyone.
I knew you were going to say that. So basically, one of Jay's new functions at work would be a waiter.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but what I've been doing is sending out...
You're like, do I get a tip for this?
Jay's like the flight attendant now in his office.
You get one, you get one. Oh, you're a cutie. You got two.
No, but what I did is I started...
Would you wear what outfit would you wear for the being a waiter?
Well, flight attendants, obviously.
What do you say?
Flight attendant, obviously.
Okay. I thought maybe you could wear a tuxedo at work.
We'll get you some of those paper gloves that they wear. You know, you could pass stuff out.
Yeah.
Would you rather wear shorts and a t-shirt at work, but you have to wear the outfit the entire year? So you wear shorts and a t-shirt, but you have to wear that even in the winter, or a tuxedo all year long?
Short
shorts.
t-shirt. Yeah.
I told everybody at work that if I could wear shorts to work, I would be so much nicer to people.
But you have to you can't wear a jacket in the winter. So you have to
don't give a shit.
I love the cold.
Yeah.
So you figure out a way to get from your apartment to the office only in shorts and a t-shirt in January.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I have a car. I have a heater in my car.
Yeah, Bryce set.
Yeah.
Okay, Jay, but I think you have to wear the tuxedo, Jay.
Okay, so I started sending out decoy please take ones. So what I did the other day is I took an empty plate and I bought a muffin for breakfast and I just sprinkled some crumbs on the empty plate and I put out a please take one sign so that when this person walks past, they think they were too late and they missed the snack. And it just kills them to figure out what snack it was. So this person walks up to me.
You were encouraging people to take crumbs.
So I thought maybe Jay was gonna be like, I put out rat poison and now he's dead.
No, so this person walks over to me and they were like, "Oh, it's an empty. It looks like I missed it." And I said, "Yeah, I there's a lot there. I guess people didn't take one. So maybe if people took one, there would be enough for everybody. But you missed out." And it's I've been doing. I put out a box of empty cookies, like just an empty box of Oreos, and I was like, "Oh, you missed it again. It looks like people aren't taking one."
Is this all stuff from the janitor's not throwing away?
No, I'm asking my coworkers, the group that there's like 5 of us that are like pretty tight.
The Team Awesome.
Yeah, so Team Awesome.
Team Kick Ass. Yeah.
Team Awesome is bringing in empty cookie boxes so I can initiate. Please take one. We're up to phase 5 now.
Oh, phase 5 or time 5?
Well, it's the same thing.
Okay, I thought maybe you were upping it each time.
No, I got like an empty box of Milano cookies and put a please take one sign. But the thing is, other people are joining in now because somebody put out a bag of potato chips and I was in a meeting and I came back and there was a please take one sign in front of the bag of potato chips. So it's spreading. People know what I'm doing and they're doing it now too.
Does your job ever wish you were as creative with the actual you actually thought as much about the actual job that you do as about these kind of things?
Oh, Jay, your next phase should be have a big thing of cookies or something, and then have it be empty, and then everybody has a tag that says "I took one" with their name on it, and then you just leave it in the kitchen.
Or
so everybody took one except for the one person,
Or you just put out a tray of cookies. Please take one, and then crouch next to it. And right before he's going to grab it, you just grab it all and run away from him.
Or it could just have just a checklist of everybody's name when you take a cookie.
They get deal a meal cards. Everybody has one.
Mm-hmm.
Is this person is he a hefty individual?
Yes.
Okay. Dude, is it okay if you make fun of his weight at the office?
I don't think so. Probably nothing I'm doing is okay.
Okay.
You should bring in kale or something and something real healthy and see if he eats that.
Oh no, that'll stay there forever.
Okay. Maybe just put a sign that says, you don't need to take more than one.
No, put the kale out with the please take one, and then when it stays there, the next day just put, no, really, please take one. Just keep making it look bigger and bigger.
I think the best solution, Jay, become a waiter. Do you think your office would get tips if you you just started handing it out? No one would object. If you just picked up the chocolate and they're like, Jay, what are you doing? Don't worry, I've got this. And you just started handing off to everyone.
I'm evenly distributing everything. Because we work with a Slobodon who isn't capable of sharing with anybody, so I'm taking it upon myself to make sure everybody gets one.
But at the same time, go to the bathroom, make sure people see you walk out of the bathroom without washing your hands, and then hand stuff out. see how people react to that.
All right, here's the thing: everybody gets one, but they get one from my unwashed hand.
Listen. I understand you just saw me not wash my hands, but I wiped with my right hand. I handed out with my left hand. I think.
Probably. Maybe
So
not, but
you're
probably.
good. I only use my right. And again, even when I'm wiping, there's a tissue between me and my butthole. So nothing exchanges. It's totally fine.
Right.
And there's no law that says I have to wash my hands. I'm an accountant.
Yeah, it's not like I'm a real, like, I don't really handle food. Well, I guess I am handling food, but we're not a restaurant, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we're good?
Yeah, could you do that tomorrow? Just deal the food out.
No, tomorrow's my next troll.
Your next troll?
So
What is your next troll? You make a dummy that looks like yourself and leave him in your chair and no show up?
So I told you they want us to take online classes to show that we're like motivated and part of the company and blah blah blah. We talked about
Yeah,
that.
I think we talked about in the show you weren't on, Bri. Basically, Jay
Yeah.
took an anger management class or something.
Right, managing anger and frustration in the workplace. Because everybody, so they said they want us all to take continuing education online classes, and if we don't, we might not have a future with the company. We're not forced to. We just might not work here anymore if we don't.
Oh.
So everyone's taking like intro to data science or like basically just intro classes, which I get data science is good, but if you just take an intro class and nothing else, it does nothing for you. So I just took managing anger and frustration in the workplace and posted that in the Slack group for everybody to see. So tomorrow, one of my coworkers is leaving, and I took a class, which I'm going to post tomorrow, called Managing Employee Retention and Ensuring that you don't lose headcount.
I have a question. Just 1 second. Are you actually taking these classes?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, are you like learning anything in the class? Not that I mean, this is funny, but are you like you're going to an awful bit? Like I took an 8-week seminar to pull off a troll.
Well, this one was a 90.
I'm playing the long game.
This one was a 90-minute class, and it was basically just a list of everything that my management team is doing wrong. So I thought it was common sense, but they're literally doing all of this stuff wrong. So I guess it's
So
it's
Jay,
not common sense.
I understand you took a class. You know how to do things better than we do here. So you're in my office. Explain to me what's wrong with our office.
Management.
Yeah, I'm management. I get all the cookies. You understand how things work. Now go on.
I manage the cookies.
Yeah, exactly. I manage the cookies, and I get what I want because it's capitalism, and that's how it works. Now tell me about your socialist, like your faggy ideas.
It was really like new age stuff, like making your employees feel like real people and treating them with
Okay.
respect.
I will make my employees feel like real people. You're a real person. Now stop being such just a terrible human being. Why are you so bad at your job? By the way, are you ever gonna gonna finally master data scientist stuff? Data management. What was it? Why are you taking that class? Everyone else took it.
It's a waste of time. Just like
Okay,
you.
tell me more about making this job better. Okay.
No.
No, I want to know more. Tell me about how you're so smart now because you took a 90-minute seminar on management.
Well, I'm not losing employees, am I?
Yeah, you are. You're the reason they're leaving. That's our new company line, is that anytime someone leaves, it's Jay's fault.
The actual title is Build Employee Retention and Reduce Annual Employee Turnover.
Yeah, we have a separate course called It's All Jay's Fault. Okay, so tell me what else are we doing? So you have to be a human being. Okay, I have to acknowledge you're a human being. Fine, you're a human being. Okay.
Okay.
What else? Okay, what else?
You have to develop personal and professional growth.
Okay. Okay, Jay, I'll develop some growth with you. You're getting taller. Okay, now next.
You have to get to know your employee and know if they are about money or they are about meaning in their job, and you have to give them one or the other.
Jay, we send out bills here. There's got to be. There's no way you're finding meaning in this shit, are you?
Okay, well, you're not giving me enough money either, so.
So
yeah.
quit.
You didn't say give you more money. You just said find out what you're about, and I found out you're about money. So I figured that part out.
Okay. Environment and culture.
Interesting. Jay, do you like pickleball?
Okay, I see where this is going.
I don't, but okay.
I'm just saying, Jay, it's a fun game. It's kind of like tennis, but it's not tennis. It's kind of like ping pong, but you're standing on the court. It's called pickleball. It's got a funny name, but it's quite a workout, Jay. Do you want to work out with me?
No, I don't.
Okay, Jay, maybe you're the one that's killing morale here by not playing pickleball.
Yeah, of course. Everything comes back to being my fault.
It's now you're understanding how things work, and you're a human being, and human beings make big mistakes. So you're making mistakes, so you're a human being.
Did you know playing the guitar is really hard?
Brian, did you know that?
No. Is it?
It's really
Yeah.
hard.
If you play the guitar for like a half hour and you haven't mastered it, it's hard. Jay apparently, how much was this the second time you played the guitar today?
No, I'm up to 7 or 8 sessions now.
Okay. Brian, did you miss when Jay was like, "Oh my God, playing the guitar is so hard"? And I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize you were playing. How long have you been playing for? A half hour? I mean, today? No, my entire life. I played it for a half hour."
It's very painful, Bri.
Do you have a newfound appreciation for guitarists?
I do.
Okay. Do you feel bad now insulting their entire like style of music, grunge?
That's why I had a new
Nice.
J Love Music's post, and it was just a guitar player, and it was amazing.
Nice
Did you
callback.
know that, Rod, did you know that our Trump site that we made a long while back when Trump became president, even though we haven't been on that site since Trump became, like, we were on that site for like 3 weeks. It's been 3 years now, and we haven't been on that site again, but the Facebook page now has more likes than our Brink page.
I did hear about that, yes.
Um,
It's very exciting.
should we turn the show into more, like, should we call it now the Trump of Sound? Like, should we just make the show Donald Trump Podcast? Just call it the exact same show. Just call it the Donald Trump Podcast. Each episode, we just give a short reference, talk about what Trump said or did for the first 10 minutes, and then go into the rest of our regular show.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Didn't we do that briefly?
No, we didn't rename the show the Donald Trump Podcast. Is that out there? I mean, that name has to be taken there.
Yeah, no, we did that for like 4 episodes. We said,
You know what would be
remember,
great? We would
this
be
is the Donald
sued
Trump Podcast, episode 1 / Brink of Sanity, episode 300.
No, but you didn't release it as the Donald Trump Podcast, did you?
No, I didn't make a separate feed for it.
You should make a separate feed. Just call it the Donald Trump Podcast. By the way, if we make a podcast and it gets popular, that guarantees he's going to lose the election.
Why don't we just, I'll put this out and we'll just put the link in the Donald Trump group and be like, yeah, this is the Donald Trump Podcast. And then we just don't mention Donald Trump the entire episode.
I guarantee.
Why don't we call it the How to Remove Donald Trump from Office podcast?
Do you think if we called the Donald Trump Podcast, how fast do you think he'd sue us?
Probably quicker than James Dolan. He hasn't sued us for the Knicks podcast yet.
I feel like the best thing is use the most official sounding podcast names. The Donald Trump Podcast, I don't see it anywhere. Like something called the actual Donald Trump Podcast. Let me look on this.
What if we just call it the official Donald Trump podcast?
I don't know if you want to use the word official.
Donald Trump endorses the official Donald Trump podcast.
I feel like, Brian, you feel like if we called the Donald Trump Podcast, wouldn't we immediately increase our number of subscribers?
What if we call it the Brink of Sanity Presents the Donald Trump podcast?
I mean, we could just keep 2 feeds going. I know I had this theory last time, but I really think it would work.
It probably would.
It's just the Knicks one. Everyone finds it because they're looking for the Knicks. If we just spend 10 minutes on Trump every episode, which we do anyway, and then just talk about whatever we want, I bet the show would at least get more listeners. More random people would find the show.
It's kind of like Rob's X-Men podcast that we've had on before. The first 40 minutes of his show, they don't even mention comic books.
Yeah. And basically people look for X-Men, so they go on the show, and then they like the show from there.
Yeah, I mean, they have a great rapport like we do. So it's people, they have a large amount of listeners that don't even read X-Men comics.
There's an official Donald Trump for President podcast.
So we could call it Donald Trump for not president.
Donald Trump to remain president.
There
'Cause he already is
is.
president.
There's nothing called the Donald Trump podcast on here.
There you go. All right, let's do a couple quick emails, and then we got to get out of here.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com if you want to email us. And we're also brinkofsanity3 on Twitter.
Or the Donald Trump podcast at gmail.com.
I think this would be a great idea.
By the way,
Jay, how hard is this to do? Because I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to ask you.
It's just an extra $20 a month. So
it's just what?
An extra $20 a month.
Okay. If I give you the $20, can you do it?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I reported Brink of Sanity on Twitter because they're impersonating our name and they haven't tweeted anything in 8 years. And
yeah?
Twitter rejected it. They did not accept my plea.
They don't send you an explanation, do they?
No, they just said this person is not breaking any of the rules, even though Twitter clearly says that they will remove inactive accounts periodically. They clearly don't because this person hasn't tweeted in 8 years.
Why don't you just write them to tell them the account is like racist or something?
Maybe if all our
They
listeners
harbor terrorists or something.
Maybe if all our listeners keep reporting this account, it'll eventually be gone.
So you think if by all our listeners, you think if Andrew reports it also, they'll do it?
Andrew, Lorenzo, and Mr. C. Because apparently Steven is done with us forever.
Oh, I think Steven still listens. He doesn't write in.
I don't think so. I think he's done with us.
Okay.
Because I linked the J Love Music's website to the Brink Twitter, and I think that for some reason that made him lose his goddamn mind.
That put him over the edge. What if we
switch to the Drake podcast?
That'd be good too, Jay.
Is there a Drake podcast?
Why would that be a good idea?
Would the Drake podcast be the worst podcast for you to be on?
Probably, yeah.
I can't think of what if the Drake podcast, or you have to listen to a podcast by the guy that steals all the cookies.
Oh, that's close. Probably the cookies.
So we should do the Trump thing.
All right. Mr. C writes,
what did we release it under last time? When we did this thing last time, what did we release it as?
Under Brink, well, we just called it the Donald Trump podcast.
But it was still under Brink, like...
Yes.
Okay.
Mr.
I bet it would take a little while, but if we did that...
Be quiet.
Why not just switch shows? What's the difference?
Okay. Enough.
What if we just rename all our old shows the Donald Trump podcast?
I like that idea. See, Brian's got good ideas, Jay.
Oh my God, these guys
we don't have to do anything.
These guys have been talking about Donald Trump since 2008.
Yeah. There's 300 episodes of your podcast? Yeah.
I like how
I've been doing a show about Donald Trump for over a decade.
I like how Bry's like, we don't have to do anything except Jay has to rename every episode for 300
No, I mean, we don't
episodes.
have to do any new shows.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. If you can you do that? Could you switch the name of the show? We release all 300 episodes, but call it the Donald Trump podcast.
I mean, I have all the episodes, so I could call it the Daily Donald Trump Podcast and release one a day, and it'll pull us through almost to the 2020 election.
Title each one of them some law that he's broken.
That would be amazing. Like people would like all the reviews would be like, "This is nothing about 1 star, nothing about Donald Trump. 1 star. What the hell are they talking about? There's no Donald Trump."
Wait till you get to 285, then we actually start talking about Trump.
1 star. What the hell does a fun sponge have to do with Donald Trump? It would be really amazing. I think I think this is one of the best ideas we've ever had. I guarantee if you just threw 300 episodes of Donald Trump podcast on there, it would be unbelievable. We would get so many downloads from that. At least we get more downloads than we're currently getting.
True.
All right. Mr. C writes, hey guys.
Jay, how hard is this to do?
It's just time consuming. It's not hard.
Okay. So I'll pay all the money that it takes to do this. And can you do it?
All your ideas involve me spending ridiculous amounts of time.
Take the time that you're doing, not writing music reviews, and do this instead.
Look, I wrote one this week.
You did? Oh, because someone, Brad, you know, someone self-submitted an album to Jay.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
It was really
Jay
good.
Jay said it was really good. I think your J-Love music site should be just listing people that ask you to review stuff.
It was Andre Tonelli, which is a Joe Satriani type of guy. It was really good.
I mean, so far nothing else has like caught on. Like reviewing Bare Naked Ladies albums from like 15 years ago hasn't like caught fire.
I fucking hate that. I hate that group so much.
But I like that group. They have 20 good songs. They're probably on the group of like the all-time group.
They have 20 good songs.
Can we get to the questions?
If they have more than 2 good songs, I would be shocked.
They have a lot more good songs. I think they're a solid band.
Oh, they have that shitty song about if they had $1 million, they'd make a tree house. Fucking stupid.
I guess they're slightly better than Dandy Warhols.
They're such a shit band. I can't believe you like those guys. Actually, I can.
You do know they're better than Dandy Warhols.
They're
People usually say Dandy Warhols are the Bare Naked Ladies for people that don't like music.
All right.
Is that what their Wikipedia page says?
Yeah, it will after in a few minutes.
All right.
So Jay, tell us what did Mr. C write?
He writes, "Please keep doing the show. It is my auditory highlight of the week. Anyway, my question, I recently came across the hobby of noodling, which Allie from Alabama demonstrates nicely in the short video. I find this video mildly unsettling, the type of thing that sets my teeth on edge. What do you find mildly unsettling / disturbing in the world?" So
okay, Jay, have you watched this yet?
I did, yes.
Bri, have you watched Noodling?
No.
Jay, can you send him a link so he can watch it so we can get his reaction on the air?
Sure.
Because I found this very disturbing.
I don't want to watch that disturbing this close to bedtime.
Whatever, like you sleep, like you're going to put on a Darth Vader mask and try to go to sleep. So just.
I know you're making a joke about apnea, but I could see Bri like literally just sleeping in a Darth Vader mask.
I assume he does, right?
If I had one, I would.
All right, I just sent it on Facebook.
I'd like to sleep in this little chamber.
Tell me when you got it.
Oh wait, where'd you send it?
Facebook.
Oh, okay. That's it.
Okay, I assumed you would have sent through via Skype, but
Skype chat's weird. It's like, I don't know, if you don't have your Windows set up properly, it's.
All right, what is this now? Do I need sound or?
No, not really.
Yeah, I don't. That's you don't really need sound.
Today we brought our 5-year-old niece to watch us noodle for the first time in this whole.
You'll never guess what noodling is.
And she was.
Yeah, it's
it just sounds. I'm like noodling. When I first started noodling, I'm like, is that like? It sounds like cuddling, some form of cuddling. Then you look at the video. In the video, Brian, just tell. So this is not a terrible audio moment. Tell, what are you seeing?
There's a lady like half underwater.
Okay. So there's a woman. She's half underwater, and what else is going on?
Oh, she's got like a shark or something on her arm.
Yeah. So it's fishing using your arm as bait. The fish basically devours, like just tries to eat your arm, and you pick up the fish out of the water. It is fish. Goddamn disturbing. And the fish is really big, so
I don't think it's that disturbing. It's just like the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I found it just disturbing. Like when she takes her hand, like you don't know what she's doing in this video. She pulls her hand out of the water and it's just covered with a giant fish.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I don't know if it's disturbing or I just think it's gross. Why
would you use a part of your body as like fish bait?
It's unnecessary.
I understand it. Maybe if this was a scene from Castaway, I'd be like, oh, okay. Well, he's on the island. He doesn't have any food. This is how he gets to get food. Fine.
So, what do you guys find unsettling or disturbing?
Unsettling or disturbing? Noodling. What else do I find unsettling and disturbing?
Anybody who sits down on the subway.
Really?
I've seen some shit on those seats. Literally.
Yeah, I assume you meant literally, but yeah, I can sit in the subway. Yeah, I have no problem. I always sit in the subway. If I have a seat, I'll stand because I feel like I'm being rude, but they take up the seats. But a lot of people sit in the subway.
No, if the entire train's empty, I'll still stand. I've seen some stuff I cannot unsee.
You're a German? I forgot. You're a germophobic?
I mean, I've seen shit and period blood and piss on these seats, and you know they're just like hosing it away and like no.
Well, that's what they do. Of course, they hose it away. But yeah,
There's no
but it's
soap involved.
I don't know. I'm kind of fine with that. I usually don't sit with my naked butt. I usually have a pair of jeans on. So
I don't like washing jeans very often.
still, again, I don't sit down. When I take them off, I don't like rub my face in the butt portion of my jeans.
I think we're agreed. Mark is the least germophobic out of all of us.
So if you let's say I know you are in a long-term relationship. If one day you are on the subway with your significant other and she just sat down the subway, is like, Jay, sit down. I'm tired. You want to sit with me? Would you then sleep with her that night? I imagine you're not going to end your long-term relationship because she's sitting on the subway. I think that'd be extreme.
Well, that's ground. I mean, it would be reasonable to.
But I'm just saying, let's say, then later in the night, she's like, "Oh, Jay, you wild animal, jump on me, mount me, Jay."
Huh?
I mean, like, what? She sits down in the subway and later on wants to get it on with you. Would you do? Or are you too grossed out with the fact she sat down in the subway?
Yeah, no. I'd be like, you take off your pants.
And she's like, no, Jay, you take off my pants.
Yes, no, you take off your pants.
And she's like, our relationship's over if you don't take off my pants.
Yeah, then it's over.
Okay, Brian, what disturbs you? Jay's insane. His first one is pretty insane.
I don't think anything disturbs me on that kind of level.
I can't believe that really disturbs you so much because you walk around the subway being like, how do you people do this? It's not like no one's sitting in the subway. It's like any subway car has like 30 people sitting at a time.
Yeah, they're all nuts. They're all out of their mind. Or they all have not seen a seat filled entirely to the brim with period blood.
Do you have like just doing like a public service by going around telling people what they
Maybe you should do a podcast about it.
You should take pictures next time and hand the pictures out next time people are sitting
I'll
down.
just be that guy walking around with the full color glossy photo of the period blood seat, and I just walk slowly back and forth on the subway showing everyone the picture.
So at first you get on the subway, people are like, is this a homeless guy trying to get change? You're like, no, I have a home and a job. I'm just doing a public service. You're sitting in period blood.
With an arrow pointing to the tampon that was on the seat.
You come with like a prop tampon, being like, this was on your seat, but this is not real. This is ketchup, but this was on your seat.
Okay,
what disturbs you, Bri?
Let's move on.
What disturbs you, Bri?
I don't know.
Nothing. I feel like I've ranted about most things that bother me already on the show.
So, Felipe writes, keep doing the show. And then he linked us. Do you guys use Last.fm?
No.
I like it. It links to your music player and it tracks basically everything you listen to. I think it's interesting just seeing, what you listen to over the years. Anyway, there is a guy called Tony Levin, and he has an album called Stickman.
Oh. Did you listen?
I did not listen yet.
Could you review them on J Loves Music?
Sure.
Okay.
But if you guys are, if anybody of the listeners are on Last.fm, send me an email and we'll link up. He also writes, I think the idea behind the low capital gains rate is that the shareholders already indirectly pay the corporate income tax and shouldn't be double taxed. I don't even remember talking about this.
That's part of our Donald Trump podcast, talking about capital gains tax.
Episode 14.
Okay.
I'm sure at some point we talked about the fact that I think they'd all should be treated as regular taxes, but I understand kind of what he's saying, but I still disagree.
Okay.
I don't think we need to discuss this.
Okay.
This is not going to be a.
He also writes, I'll try to clarify my shopping idea, although you have a good answer last time. What I want is something like this. Say you're on Amazon and you're in the graphics card. You want to sort or filter by performance or on some rendering benchmark, but Amazon doesn't have the criteria. So you create your own category called Jay's Render Time or something like that, and enter in the render time that you assign to each card. That way, when someone else is shopping for a graphics card, they can sort by Jay's render time. People could rate your numbers based on how accurate or helpful they think they are. That way, If you're just making shit up, you will get downvoted, and people will trust Marc's render time instead.
What?
So are we assuming Amazon only sells graphics cards? Like, how do we apply this to any other situation?
It's an example. I guess you make your own lists, and people can
So basically, I think what he's saying is, or like if you're going to apply it to other products, would be, let's say you get a microwave on there, and you write a review for the microwave. Then someone else buys the microwave and goes, Mark's review is not that accurate. I'm going to give him lower stars, and eventually I have
no credibility.
I have 4 stars, or I'm a 2-star rater, so you don't trust my rating anymore.
Right.
So, and then we're going to review those people. Eventually, eventually the entire planet will be reviewed on Amazon.
Bill Maher just did a thing about that last week.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think I heard that.
Yeah, he was Rotten Tomatoes, where he reviews the people who review movies.
Yeah. It does get like kind of insane. Like you're like, if you ride an Uber, the driver gets to review you also. Like, stop it. Not everything needs to be reviewed.
Yeah.
And I also feel like about a third of all emails I get now are asking me to rate products I purchased.
Not everything needs to be reviewed. My 2 best ideas are my music review site and my brunch review site.
Not everything needs to be reviewed, but music and brunch do.
Yeah, well, those are pretty good idea. I mean, those are
by other people, but not by Jay.
Jay, could you review brunch at the bar around the corner from Bry?
No,
I don't think they have it anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I feel like that would have been a good callback. I don't know.
Felipe writes, side note, Jay's life trajectory has been similar to that of the graphics card industry. First, he existed to edit.
I always think of graphic cards when I think of Jay.
First, he existed...
hang on, before you even read this. Jay did want to make graphic. I guess you want to be a video editor, which is some graphics.
Thank you
related.
For interrupting the email.
Okay.
First, he existed to edit video, then to play games, then to make money off cryptocurrency, and hopefully soon to make money. The analogy is not perfect because Jay will make money off of accounting and graphics cards will make money off of machine learning, but they both spend as much time as possible around Asians.
That was amazing, actually.
Yeah, thank you, Felipe.
That was one of the best things I've heard in the show. That was amazing. If Felipe, on my assignment for next week, can you compare either Bry or my life to some
inanimate object?
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
All right, we're running long, so let's do one more email.
How many more emails do we have?
A lot. So keep them coming.
Really?
We'll get to them. Yeah. Lorenzo writes, hey guys, what do you do at work when someone is copying your work? There are 3 of us with clients where the work is similar, just with different figures, and the chick next to me duplicates what I do, adjusted for her clients.
I mean, aren't you all working at the same company? In theory, should you guys be working together? Like, if you did something better and they can copy it and just do a good job, why is that a problem? Like, you're not taking a test.
Unless it's sales. I mean, then.
No, but like my job is a lot of sales, and we all copy each other. Like,
yeah.
No,
in your job, how is copying bad at work?
I'm way more petty than that. I make a false bad version, and then they copy that, and then I redo the work with a good version.
Have you done this at work?
I've done it in school.
Yeah, I know, but school's totally different than work.
Is it though?
Like,
well,
maybe not.
You don't get paid.
Explain to me a situation at work where someone copied you and it'd be a problem.
I don't have that, but if somebody was copying all my work and getting credit for it and making money off of it, yeah, I would draft something really shitty, have them copy it, and then delete mine and make a good one.
Credit. Like, he didn't say taking credit for it. So like
they obviously are.
No, they said they're doing it, but they're doing it with their clients. I'm not sure what he does, but what if someone at your work was like copying what you're doing, but then like they go like, oh, hey, how'd you figure that out? And you'd be like, oh, I just copied off of Jay. Jay had a great idea. Would that be a problem?
No, but they're not giving you credit.
He didn't say that in his story.
Well, it's obvious.
Okay. What do you do about it? I guess you make a fake one, which Jay just said.
Me?
No, I mean, what Jay just said, like make a fake version and then do a real version later.
I guess. that situation doesn't really come up in my work, so I can't really comment on it.
Like someone at your job is like, I'm copying Bry's bookkeeping.
Yeah, I mean, nobody would ever do that.
Yeah. No, I'm just you get what I'm saying. I just don't understand where that would apply at a job. Outside unless you're taking credit away from someone else.
Well, you don't have Lorenzo's job.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe Lorenzo can tell us more about that for next week.
Yeah. LorenzoHatesWork.com.
Yeah, Lorenzo, if you could release LorenzoHatesWork.com before Jay does JayHatesWork.com, it would be amazing.
All right. So, we'll get to the rest of the emails next week. We're running a little long. Anybody else have anything to add? You don't, right? Because I need to go to bed.
Tune in next week for another exciting episode of the Donald Trump podcast.
Yes.
Yes. Jay will be spending the rest of the night working on this.
Right.
Yeah, Jay, can you go through every episode and dub over where we say Brink Insanity and dub over Donald Trump?
I'll get right.
Yeah, you add in a little Donald Trump like at each episode, and you can coincide with what's going on in the news. Just say like, "Oh, Donald Trump did this again." I know, back to the regular programming.
And then just re-record every episode talking about Donald Trump so we don't have to.
Every time I say the word Bry, you just dub over Donald Trump.
It'd be like that thing you did at college.
Actually,
when you had to do the special effects where you just kept putting the punch noise and everything.
Yeah, that was the best. We had to edit a Western movie, and I just made the loudest punch sound effect, and every single sound effect in the entire movie was me just dubbing over this loud punching sound effect.
It was so out of context. It was so funny.
So great.
So I think I was trying to think of what word you could replace in the podcast with the name Donald Trump. That would be funny. If you could replace every time we talk about ants, like the ones in my house, but with Donald Trump.
Ants and mold and Stickman.
An infestation. Oh yeah, if Brian could have a confrontation with Donald Trump. Donald Trump told me to go down to his gym, but I wasn't gonna fall for that.
Yeah, Donald Trump is really Stickman.
That'd be amazing. That'd be the best reveal ever for the show. Tune into next week of Donald Trump podcast.
All right, so Jay, you'll have that done by the weekend.
Okay. By the way, Donald Trump is the one stealing the
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. You better go away. I'm gonna leave you. It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone.